Hey, yo, what's going on, you guys? Your boy Pony Montana, and in this video, we are going to be going over crazy bot-proof defense in Madden 23. Every single year, it's the same situation, and I posted this video out before, but in this video, we're going to be going over a different variation of it because I feel like I founded this defense. So I'm going to keep on stretching it and milking it, pause, super pause, but we're going to be sitting here kind of going over this defense in multiple different formations until I find one that fits me perfectly, and I may have done that. Now, the only problem with the defense that I'm running right now is the personnel, but we're gonna get into that. But before I get into it, if you guys are new to the channel, like the video, blah 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 blah. 4-3 even 6-1. That's going to be the defense simply because of the AP change. For those of you guys who don't know, Madden changed the AP from 12 to 6. Kind of forcing people to not even kind of just forcing people to kind of change their entire scheme on offense and defense. So obviously we have to adjust. Dollar is good. It's great. It's still one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the game. But I like having a lot of my players that are not chasing after the quarterback. I want them to have ability. So in this specific defense, most of the guys that are on the field have abilities for me, and that's exactly how I want it to be. Now, let's go over personnel. Again, we're coming out of even 6-1, 4-3, and I'll leave a link in the description if you guys can't find out where to find this specific formation. And there is a way to get a safety at the middle linebacker position. I'm just very lazy when it comes to reassigning my team. And I don't want to, I want to make sure I keep my 40-40 legends, et cetera, just to make sure everything stays cool. So, again, if you guys want that video, let me know down in the comment section. But I'll leave a link where you can find this specific playbook so you guys can start running this yourself if you guys want to win an easy Super Bowl. Because I promise you, if you guys watch the live stream, I will be posting games out of this defense, but the live streams is where it's at. So even 6-1, let's go over personnel real quick. Now, these two guys here, these are going to be your man coverage guys. Now, if you guys watch the dollar video, it's going to be the same alignment as that. So these two guys here, your two safeties that are over the top, are going to be man coverage. You're going to want two separate abilities: deep route KO, medium route KO. Now, currently right now, because I have one of the best teams in the game, I'm allowed to, I have the funds to spend on special players. So I have Anquan Bolden, who gets one step ahead for 0 AP, and I'm utilizing 2 AP on that specific player. So he gets one step ahead, deep route KO and medium route KO for 2 AP, which is insanely crazy. And then I got Deion Sanders, 99 overall there, and he gets medium route, deep route, and pick artist, all for 1 AP. Again, another huge discounted player. And then on the guys out here, you want them to have deep out zone and medium zone KO. Okay, these guys are going to be your hybrid players right here. These are going to be called the hybrids. They're not going to be matched up. They're going to be the hybrids where sometimes you're going to be match coverage. Excuse me. They're not going to be manned up. They're going to be match coverage or zone coverage. So they're going to be bouncing back and forth between those. Now, coach adjustments. This is what you're going to want to have them off base. These don't matter. Zone drops, again, keep these between, that 0 to 10 mark. I like to keep it between 0 and 5 simply because I want my zones to play shorter underneath, because every other guy that's on the field is simply going to be guarding anything that's going over the top. And that's exactly how I want my defense to be ran. And then zone coverage, you want this at match. And that's exactly what you want. Now, for me, I like to flip the play. I feel like it kind of allows you to man up your safeties towards the opposite side, depending on the alignment of the offense. So we're gonna flip the play. Again, this is kind of a crucial step here, but we're gonna flip the play, and we're gonna call Sam Will Blitz. We're not gonna call cover 4 quarters. We're gonna call Sam Will Blitz. And just like the dollar video, by the way, you're going to come out and you're going to reset your defense. That's going to be the first thing that you do. Then, if you're facing a formation like bunch, and I'm calling bunch because it's a very popular formation, you're going to make sure that you man up the tight end on the right side. Okay, so I did it wrong. I'm supposed to flip to make sure that the left side safety is over the top, because as you can see, this Deion here, I can man him up to Carmichael. But if you guys are struggling with that, just the blitz is already set up, mind you. All you have to do is pretty much hover in. So it does not take that long to back up your coverage and man up this guy on one of the guys that are on the opposite side. So this is going to happen whenever you face a 3 receiver set that's on one side, and you're going to want to take this guy, one of these guys here, right? And you're going to want to man him up on one of the guys. Okay, so pretty much you want this guy to guard this one, this guy to guard this one, and this guy to guard that one. Like, this is how you essentially want it. And this guy's going to guard this one. Now, the reason why we come out in a hybrid variation of this defense is because sometimes these routes end up getting bounced out, right? Like, say they're running something like this, right? They're running a flood concept that's on the outside. If this guy is in a zone and he's got his deep out zone, medium zone KO, he has that potential chance to react to that route, even though he's matched up on another player. That's how EA works. If he is completely manned up, so if he's manned up completely against these two guys, these guys are completely locked onto each other, and this guy won't bounce out to guard any other route. He will literally lock on that specific route unless it's like a floated pass that's over the top. And I think that's why this defense is going to end up being one of the better defenses once a better player ends up finding this. Now, granted, I am a defensive god, and that's exactly why you've clicked onto this video, because you want to find the easiest defense. This is simply it. So for the blitz, let's go over the blitz real quick, and then again we'll go over the coverages against various different formations so you guys can get comfortable with it. But the blitz is very simple. All you have to do, you're sending 6 people, so you don't have to do much. You can crash left, you can crash right, you can crash up, you can crash down. Doesn't matter. You just come out in the Samuel blitz. Containing is optional, but that's all you have to do. And then you hover in, and as you can see, look how fast these guys come in. They just absolutely scream. So that time I believe I contained. So you press R1, R1. And again, I'm not even going to crash any which way. I'm just going to hover and then crash my guy down. Now, granted, that time they ended up getting, jammed up on everybody. So, let's run that back one time. And again, this time we're crashing down. Same exact thing. As you can see, just that double edge pressure goes crazy. This time we're going to crash up. Again, we're not pressing. We're not doing anything crazy, but we're just containing real quick and then crashing one way and then getting the screamer going whichever other way that we want, pretty much. It's that easy to run this blitz. Again, we're just crashing up. This time we're not even containing. And as you can see, look at how fast the blitz comes in. Absolutely nuts. Mind you, I also have the defense set up the way that I do. And I put unstoppable forces as two of my X factors. So once we do end up getting screamed, once we scream at the opponent, these guys are going to come down and absolutely hum. And sometimes the reason why we're able to do this is because now, since that is the case, these guys are lit up, and now instead of actually having to go crazy, these guys might potentially end up getting a shed, even though I have secure protectors on the field. And then you're allowed to sit there. Oh, I got my squiggly still up, but you're allowed to sit there and send just 2 people because these guys might potentially go crazy in the interior, on the outside of the defense, getting those outside sheds. So again, let's set up how we run defenses against a lot of different formations. Let's start off with bunch. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to reset the play. Okay. We're always going to reset the play. That's going to be the first step. And in any offense that you see these guys out here, on a solo person, not motioned in. If he's motioned in, you have to change the defense. We'll talk about that in a minute. But if he's motioned in, you have to change the defense, because this guy right here, he's not going to match on that person. He's just not. He's going to end up getting burnt, and you're going to get frustrated and go, man, why didn't that work? Well, it's because the defense is being ran a little bit wrong. And that's one of the reasons why we end up having on the bunch side here, we end up having only 2 people really manned up, and then everything else kind of gets a little zone coverage action, simply to make sure that everything else is guarded on the field. So again, we reset our play. Now, because we have 3 receivers, and this is going to work against trips, formations, whatever the case is, we have the 3 receivers on one side. Now, in a trips formation, this guy that's on the outside here, he ends up being lined up outside. Okay, he ends up being literally all the way outside, which kind of makes our defense work a little bit better. But in a bunch situation, you have to utilize regular zone coverage. Okay, you have to utilize regular zone coverage, and in this situation, again, we always want the two interior receivers, which are these two guys here, to be manned up. So our safeties are always going to be manned up on the two interior receivers. Do not forget that. That is a crucial point to this defense. And then on the left side of a bunch specific defense, we're going to put this guy in a quarter, okay? An outside quarter. Do not mistake that for an outside, an outside deep blue, because this is an outside deep blue. As you can see, the circle's a little bit wider. And then on the other side, we have an outside quarter, okay? Do not confuse those, because those are going to make huge differences, whether somebody could sit there and throw a C route on you, or if somebody's going to be able to throw, any intermediate route on you. And then after you get your defense set, I promise you, once you get comfortable with this, it's going to be super quick. You're going to win a ton of Super Bowls, and you're going to frustrate a lot of your opponents. But after you get done with this, you're going to show blitz. What show blitz does, it brings down those safeties. It puts this guy more towards the outside, and that's it. The defense is pretty much set up. Now, one thing that you guys might wonder is, oh my God, this guy out here is going to be wide open if they throw straight to the flat. Well, that's why we end up having our Ted Hendricks out here. And again, this is for special formations that have these interior guys, like tight formations or anything like that. So if they take this outside receiver, and I know this is a lot, but hey, this is ebook type stuff. So if they take this guy out here, you're going to take your Richard Sherman or your outside cornerback that's on the right side and put him in a normal deep blue. But now you have to set up your defense a little bit different. Now you have to pick your poison on who you want to be guarding one of the interior guys. You want the tight end to be guarded, or you want this outside guy to be guarded? I personally would rather the outside guy, simply because I rather the defense look like this. And then my focus is going to be the tight end in this situation. Now, again, you might be wondering, what if the running back happens to run out of the pocket? Well, that's why we ended up substituting linebackers in these two positions, okay? Instead of having our defensive end there, instead we have them blitzing, while these guys can either be manned up. This guy can go in a zone out here. Same thing with this guy. And all of a sudden you have, a variation of a tribrid defense. And that's exactly what you're looking for. A lot of the people, when you play out of this formation, they start motion blocking a lot of these receivers so they can only have 3 routes set up. And once they start to do that, they're scared of the blitz because they don't know how to block it, for one. And they only want those 3 routes set up. So you can sit there and man this guy up here. You can take this guy, man him to the tight end. Again, that's why you have fast outside linebackers. In this point in time of the game, these fast outside linebackers are going to do more help being manned up and anything like that than kind of being sat there doing nothing. Because right now I can sit there and man him up on the tight end or the running back. So if they motion this guy in, our defense can switch to where we're not sending anybody, and we've got the tight end manned up. We've got this guy manned up. So now the only guys that we really have to worry about are the outside guys, 84, and the running back is manned up still. So again, we have our pressure going out, making sure our lurker's there. And if he throws that, let me get rid of the squigglies real quick. If he throws that, and this is why this hybrid defense is so dangerous, because if he throws that, this Richard Sherman is going to end up biting on that because he's not manned up. Again, allowing us to sit there and let our pressure come in from these guys that are going to be sitting there getting their sheds on because, they got their unstoppable forces active. And a lot of the times you're going to get pretty decent sheds from the interior linemen, et cetera, et cetera. But most of the routes out here are pretty much clamped. The only guy that ended up open was this guy here because I bumped my own receiver here. And that's Anquan Bolden, who would have ended up, getting a nice little KO animation when it came to that specific play. So let's go ahead and call timeout. And again, show you guys the differences in calling it against different formations. So again, in tight's a different beast, obviously, but we're going to go ahead and call PA cross. Same old blitz. Boom. We're going to reset the play. And in this situation, we're just going to put our two guys in deep blues and make sure that these guys are in a situation like this where you got your hard flats out there. Simply because we want them to throw at the deep blues while your guy is responsible for guarding most of the things that are in the middle. Now, in this situation, in these formations, you're going to make sure, or you're going to want to make sure that you have you're pretty much a mid read here. This is pretty much what the defense is going to look like, and you're going to be able to clamp up a lot of the things that your opponent is trying to do. There's only certain routes that are going to go over the middle, and you have to, again, knowing route combinations and stuff like that is going to be huge for helping you run, your defense. But again, this is what happens against a tight formation. Everything is pretty much clamped. Again, this guy has deep route zone KO. So as soon as he throws that, Dion is going to end up getting an animation. Same thing here. Chad Johnson is going to end up getting an animation. This guy here, where's he throwing? He can't throw anywhere. And this is one of the most popular plays in the game. This might be the only route right here that could potentially end up open simply, again, because a little bump from the defender. Everything gets clamped with this defense, along with them being petrified that instead of sitting there running this defense, let's go ahead and show blitz here. You're sitting there sending 100 people, which is going to literally make their life, it's going to make their life a little bit difficult. So again, let's hop into another one. Let's see how we run it against spread. So spread Y flex, same exact situation. We are going to reset the play. And now this time we have these outside guys. We have these outside guys here, which means what exactly? These guys are lined up on the interior, which means we're going to be able to put these outside guys in quarter flats. And then you can show blitz. I like to shade over the top, by the way. That's something that I didn't mention. And then your user is responsible for the running back, okay? So wherever the running back goes, that's where your user guards. Now, if I showcase that, look at how clamped everybody is. And again, I left my squigglies up on the screen, but I've been talking for a pretty decent amount of time here. So if you're still here watching the video, I appreciate you, because this is crucial here. But as you can see, mid route KO going crazy. Mid route KO would go crazy. Deep out zones going crazy. Deep out zones going crazy. Again, and with this tribrid defense, this works with every single route. It's not like this is like a one and done kind of situation. So I'm going to go ahead and put these guys that are blitzing. I don't remember if I actually put them in a reset the defense, but let's go ahead and just run it as is. So the way that this goes, this guy is on a C route, and look at how good he guards it. Again, I'm just gonna throw it here. Let me try to find a dot here. Oh, that should be. Oh, that almost was a laser. But look at how good he runs this C route, and I didn't even shade over the top. I shade over the top pretty much every single play. So look at how good he guards this defense. Even he got bumped as well. And if you throw that, Richard Sherman will catch up to that and knock it out. He just will, because that's not that he ends up getting separation a little bit too late. And as you can see, man, the way that they respond to most of these routes is absolutely crazy. So let's run that one more time, so you guys don't think, oh man, he looked like he had a little space on him, because y'all know how the comment section be, man. But let's go ahead and run that one more time. Show blitz. Again, we don't even have to show blitz, but we're going to show blitz, and then we're going to call. And again, aim that out. Again, highball that and everything. There's not much that they can do when it comes to having these deep out zone KOs on the field. Your defense will clamp up. So let me say this one more time before I get out of here, because I have been talking for a long time. You want medium and deep route KO on these two safeties here. Then on these two guys out, I was about to mark up the wide receivers. On these two guys here, you want medium zone and deep out zone. And then after that, however else you want to run your defense, by all means, go ahead and run your defense however much that you want. But with that setup right there, you got two. I got 2, 4, 1, and 1. That's it. the 6 AP is being utilized on my 4 guys, and you really only need to use 1 AP on each of them, because you can definitely find people with deep route and medium route for 1 AP. Same thing with those outside guys. You can find deep out zone and medium zone for 1 AP as well. This is the most bot friendly defense that you guys can find, because again, last but not least, the last thing that I can showcase and utilize is facing someone who is nonstop running the ball. So we have someone who's running the ball. Again, your objective is to pretty much guard wherever the running back is. So let me go ahead and showcase that one more time, just so I can actually call a run play. And again, I'm only just calling a run play just for the video. We're not even like showcasing like crazy defense, but again, they call a run, boom. They can't, like, the bots that end up getting nervous about passing, they're gonna have a hard time running the ball. And if you utilize the AP like I just said, where you can literally have, 2 extra AP, then you could put some extra secure tacklers, some inside stuffs, whatever the case is. If you guys are nervous about the run, but the pass will be clamped down. Everything will be clamped down in this. The only people that might give you an issue are very good passers, because sometimes a very good passer is going to sit there and hit their flats nonstop, and it's going to get very, very annoying, because then they'll hit their flats. They'll know how to block blitzes, etc., etc. This is bot proof. This is also going to frustrate a good opponent, and it's just going to make your life easier. So go win some Super Bowls. Let me know how it goes for you, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man. My name is Pony Montana. Gameplay coming soon with this defense. A bunch of videos I'll drop, literally just showcasing the defense, going crazy. If you guys want to watch it live, it's down in the description. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'll see y'all again. I said this like 4 times, but I'll see y'all in the next one. As always, 2 fingers, deuces, and peace out, you guys.